Welcome back, agents. My name is Squeaky, and today we'll be looking at a game called The Deed. So I don't know much about this game apart from that it is a 2D top-down horror game. And I also know there is a sequel to this game called The Deed 2. But in this video, we're going to look at the first game, The Deed. So I'm going to press new game here. Pilgrim Adventures. And we are going to do the introduction here. So F1, game options, F12 resets the game, and escape access menu inventory. So there will be an inventory system in this game. Okay, Scotland, November 1945. Okay, so it was in the UK at the end of World War II. My name is Arran Bruce, son of Malcolm Bruce and rightful heir of Dunshiel House. I've recently discovered that my tyrant of a father intends to disinherit me in favor of my deranged younger sister. Okay. My relationship with my family is strained, to say at least. I've decided that the time has come for my sister to be removed from the ghastly equation. Oh God. I intend to put her out of her misery. Oh my God, it's already very grim, isn't it? Unfortunately, my sister never leaves the confines of Dunshiel House, which makes the matter more complicated. I have not visited the family home in quite some time. I can't bear to be in that hellhole for long. However, my presence on the night of my father's 50th birthday will cause no suspicion. Okay, so we were visiting the house on his 50th birthday. I must choose the timing and the method of the deed very carefully. Oh God. Tonight is the night. I go and it's done. The bell invites me. Wow. So the premise of this game is that we are going to arrive back to our family house to kill our sister. Bloody hell, George. Who has been responsible for maintaining the garden? It's pitch black. It's raining. Used to be back Jill Williams, sir. He's been dead almost a year now. I do a little here and there. Can't do much on account of my back, though. My sister hasn't offered to help you then. Miss Jennifer isn't really the outdoor type, sir. I know, George. It was a joke. Very funny, sir. Let's go inside before the ocean comes to Dunshiel. Homecoming. Okay, so there are like chapters in this game. Converse with your relatives and search for the house for useful objects. Objects are divided into two categories. Items of evidence and weapons. Okay. You will only be allowed to pick up 2 objects from around the house before dinner commences, so choose wisely. After dinner, you will have the chance to plant an item of evidence, if you wish, and then commit the murder. Oh, that's interesting. There are many ways to do the deed, but only one cunning will succeed. Oh my God, so we actually need to think this through. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Arran. May I take your coat? I don't know what's in our coat. Let's see. Oh my God. Only if I can take your dress. No. Okay. We're going to keep our coat here. No, I think I will keep my coat. So is she like the maid? Are you sure, Mr. Arran? It looks soaked through. Quite sure. You're new, aren't you? Sophie is my name. I recognize you from your pictures, Mr. Arran. I'm not new, exactly. I've been employed by your family for almost a year. It's just that you have never visited before. I think we're going to be... If our job is to come to our house to kill our sister, I think we should be as polite as possible, to be honest. We shouldn't actually stir up any trouble. I've been busy. My work keeps me very busy, unfortunately. I understand. I've been away from my family a lot since I started this job. Okay. You are here now, and I'm sure you are eager to meet with the others. Your father is in the library, on your left. Okay. And your mother, I was thinking, there's nothing on the left here. But maybe it's here, right? Because obviously it should be in this room. And your mother is in the parlor, which is on your right. And this has to be the parlor. And you can probably see our mother here as well. Your sister is upstairs in her room, I think. Oh my god, where can I find you, my pretty? No, that's actually a pretty good question. A very creepy question, but it's probably a very good question. I know my way around my own dime house. Okay, let's go with this one. It's creepy, but I think it's a good idea to understand where she is. And what if I want to join you for some... God damn it. Pleasant company. Oh, I will be in the kitchen preparing dinner. I'll sound the bell when dinner is served. Okay, let me see here. So I can walk here by clicking. And it is a grid-based game here. So can I... Okay, so I can look at objects here. Your mother has always kept the house populated with a great many plants. Okay, and this clock here. You recall this old grandfather clock very well from your childhood. You used to believe that if it is ever stopped ticking, time itself might stop moving. This portrait of one of your ancestors dates from the 15th century, if you recall your father's letters correctly. Okay. Let's go here first. I don't want to actually go into that room here, and I don't know what's upstairs. So this has to be the dinner place, right? This is a desk. This wooden side table is currently empty. Okay, so we can probably plant something here. This is a fireplace. This old stone fireplace has nothing to interest you. Okay, there is a candle here. One of your mother's prized golden candlesticks sits at the center of the table. It would certainly make for an elegant traditional murder weapon. So it doesn't actually cost us anything if we take this, right? Because we can have two objects. We can have one, the murder weapon, but we can also have one decoy weapon, basically, where we plant to, I guess, put the blame on someone else. I don't know. Let's take the candlestick. Oh, wait, whoa. Okay, it says here, are you sure you want to take the candlestick? Remember, you can only pick up two objects. So, no, we're not going to do this. No, on the second force. So, we can pick up the candlestick, but let's not actually do that. Anything else in here? No. Okay, let's head up. No, okay, let's go up in here. So, this is our father, right? Even now, the familiar... musty smell of your father's library fills you dread as you step inside. You have too many bad memories of this room. Well, it's very dark in here, isn't it? Okay, so we have a dog here. Your father's best friend. A hunting dog named Beastie. The dog looks at you for a moment, then walks away when it realizes you have no food. I'm instantly thinking about putting the blame on the dog. When your father isn't looking, you quietly open the top drawer of the desk and take a look inside. It seems to be filled with his memorabilia. Okay. One of the items sends a shiver through your bones. The cruel letter Tors your father used to beat you when you were a child. If you perhaps planted it in the right place, it might raise questions. Aha. Okay, we've got to leave it here for now. Anything else? What is this lamp here? The desk lamp provides a soft glow. So this is a window, right? It is dark and stormy night, and this is a bookshelf. These shelves are labeled British history. And the same one here. And is this also British history? These shelves are labeled arts and culture. Okay, can we sit down? Get away, boy! That chair is for the dog. Whoa! Okay. What's over here? This is a hefty tome of Bruce family history. You feel sleepy just looking through it. Okay. Can I click? Can I walk here? Or maybe not. No. Okay, let's talk with our father. Hello, father. Your father remains silent for several moments, and a chill seems to pass through the library. When he finally speaks, it is in a quiet and bitter tone. You told me you'd never enter this house again, boy. Why are you here? Well, it's your birthday, father. To see you, of course, father. Happy birthday. To discuss the inheritance. I know everything. This is very rude. This is none of your concern. Happy birthday, father. It's obviously why I'm here. I want you to put all that unpleasantness behind us and wish you a happy 50th birthday. Happy? You honestly think this is a happy day for me? Another day when I can watch my life's work crumble into nothing. Another day to see our bloodline slit its own throat. Oh God. He's very unhappy with his own family, right? You know how to make me happy? Move back to Dunshiel, take your proper place and do your damn duty. Oh, so he's not happy that the daughter will inherit the legacy, right? You have to let me live my own life. I refuse to move back here and suffer your abuse. I will consider it if my sister is put into care. Wow. Let's pick that one. If I were to move back to Dunshiel, I would have certain expectations. Oh, and what expectations would those be? Firstly, I refuse to suffer your daily insults. You will need to learn to be more decent towards me. I mean, that's pretty fair, to be honest. Secondly, I want my sister to be put into a care where she belongs. I cannot live with her insanity for another day. You would like that, wouldn't you? You obnoxious little shit. Selling out your own bloodline. But you were the one who actually... Oh God, okay. Those are my terms. Well, you know what you can do with your terms. The nerve of you. You're the same snot-nosed brat you always were, boy. Obviously, I didn't give you enough discipline as a child. Oh my God, the book's here. If you can't be civil, I will take my leave. Oh, you beat me plenty, I remember. Perhaps you're the one who needs some discipline. Let's take the second one here. Oh, you beat me plenty, I remember. You gave me dozens of beatings, father. I remember every single one of them. Did you ever consider trying another method, perhaps? Not for a moment. You were always a snide little weasel. The best I could do was to beat some of it out of you. You should be thanking me for it, not trying to condemn me. I think I have heard enough from you. Get out of here. Okay. Okay, we can go in here. So this is our mother. Another firestone. Nice music, by the way. There is nothing especially notable about this fireplace. The most beloved of all your mother's possessions, her rusty old gramophone, used to play all of her favorite records. This painting, no. There is a window here again. It is dark and stormy night. Okay, what is this book down here? You glance over your shoulder to make sure your mother isn't looking. The red book on the desk says diary on the front. What does it say in the diary? Leave the diary where it is for now. Okay, let's, what's this? A table here and another chair. So, Arran, you finally managed to make it up here for a visit. Please tell me you aren't just here to cause trouble. I'm here to make amends. Trouble is what you all deserve. Whatever do you mean? I have no idea what you mean, Mother. I'm here to celebrate Father's birthday. That's all. I certainly hope that's the case. This family has been through enough. Have you been up to see your sister yet? She's been going through an unusual difficult time recently. Will she be okay? Christ, what's wrong with her this time? What's wrong with her this time? Oh, and what disease has she invented for herself now? She only does it for attention, you know. You shouldn't let her deceive you. You'll excuse me if I choose to trust the doctors over your expert opinion, Arran. You could at least pretend as though you care about her. Anyway, you should go away and talk to your father if you haven't already. Wish him a happy birthday. We did. It turned out terrible. Oh, and at least try to sound like you mean it. And this is a telephone, right? Okay, you don't need to make any phone calls right now. So we can pick up a diary here. So what happens if we go back to our father? Can we wish him a happy birthday again? No, okay. He has nothing else to say here. So let's go upstairs. Actually, wait. Let's go down here. What are these other rooms? Oh, we need to go up here and then here, right? Oh, is this a basement? This is the ground seeker's cupboard. George seems to have it left open. Okay. Among the various household things, you spot a thick length of rope. Strangulation is certainly a tried and tested method of murder. Oh my god. Take the rope. Leave the rope where it is now. How many murder weapons do we have here now? We have the candlestick and we have the rope, right? And then we have two ways to plant evidence. Okay, let's go down here. This dusty old wine cellar is where your father likes to practice billiards. The laundry room is next door, and beyond that, the servants' quarters. Oh, maybe that's where Sophia is, right? Can we do anything in this room here? This is a painting. This antique map of Kansas City was a gift to your father from one of his distant cousins. Okay. An offshot of the Bruce family set sail for the Americas almost 100 years ago and remained there to this day. And we have barrels here, I guess. Your father always keeps an impressive amount of wine stocked in the house. And this is a picture. No greater grief than to remember days of joy, when misery is at hand. Can we take this cue here? A billiards cue belonging to your father lies across the table. This could certainly serve as an unorthodox murder weapon. So this is actually interesting, because when we spoke with our father, it sounded like he was really miserable that our sister will inherit everything, right? So that could actually be a possible explanation, but we're going to frame it on our father. Okay, let's leave it for now. Let's continue here. Whoa, a lot of rooms. So we have some pair of shoes here. 2 pairs of shoes, freshly polished. Okay, 2 shoes. And this is... There is nothing in here but wet laundry. Okay, never mind. I was about to say, don't they have a washing machine, but I remember this was 1945. There is nothing in here but wet laundry. You find nothing of interest in the maid's supplies. Okay, what's this here? Nothing. And let's go over to this side here first. Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest. And this mop. The maid has left a wooden broom leaning against the wall, broken in two. It might be a useful weapon. Okay. Let's leave it here. So far I think we have like 4 murder weapons, right? We find nothing in these drawers but useless cleaning supplies. So many rooms here. Let's go into the other room. Let's see. Okay, that has to be George. And this is the mirror. A broken mirror sits upon the maid's desks. Odds are that it belongs to your sister and the maid has been hiding it here after accidentally breaking it. Wow. A shard of glass from it mirror would be a poetic murder weapon. That's really... Oh my god, there are so many murder weapons in this game. This is awesome. Okay, let's leave it here. Let's continue. This is the chair. This is certainly not the time for sitting around. And what's over here? There is nothing in these drawers but clothes belonging to the maid. Let's speak with George here. Okay, we have a chair here. This is certainly not the time for sitting around. Drawers. You can't go rummaging through George's drawers while he's watching you. Oh, can we actually trick him out of this room? This is the bed. You aren't in the habit of sleeping in the servants' quarters. Oh. Okay, he's still watching us. We probably need to speak with him. Okay, and okay, let's talk with him. Actually, what's over here? Oh, hello, sir. What can I do for you? You seem quite distressed about something. I do? Well, I'm sure it's nothing you should trouble yourself with, sir. Your concerns are my concerns. Shouldn't you be helping in the kitchen? I suppose you're right. Ooh, shouldn't you be helping in the kitchen? My main concern is that you're pacing around down here while you should be helping the maid in the kitchen, George. That's just it, sir. The new maid doesn't like me helping her with anything. She's very domineering. She won't even let me enter the kitchen while she's preparing meals. I have tried discussing the matter with your mother, but it's no use. She hasn't been herself lately. But please don't trouble yourself about it, sir. I probably shouldn't have said anything anyway. At all. Okay, so it sounds like we have a domino effect here. So we probably need to do something first in order to get George out of the room. So this new maid is something of a bully then. What's wrong with my mother? In what way is my father not herself? Ever since your sister's condition has become worse, your mother has become rather cold and withdrawn. Your sister has gone through difficult spells before, but it has never affected your mother quite like this. There is a darkness that I have never seen in her before. I should say no more. Please excuse me, sir. Oh my god, George doesn't look like she's willing to communicate any further. Okay, so we can't get George out of this room because the maid is very controlling in the kitchen. They hinted to the mother, right? So I'm wondering, can we speak to our mother here again? And where's the kitchen? We haven't been in this room, right? So that's the basement. Let's talk with our mother. See if we can unlock anything here. Your mother is listening to her music. You know better than to disturb her again. Okay, so we can't talk with her. I'm getting the impression that as soon as we've talked with someone, we can't actually talk with them again. Okay, let's head down here and then into... Oh, wait. Into this room. So, is this the kitchen? Okay, we have some books here. None of these books interest you. And we have a painting. We have a chair. You decide that now is not the time for lounging around. There are work to be done. There is work to be done. You decide that now is not the time for lounging around. There is work to be done. And this is our table. You manage to force open the locked drawer of the writing desk. Inside you find pages of poetry penned in your sister's handwriting. They seem to be love letters penned to an unidentified female. From the descriptions, you would guess it's the new maid. Oh, wow. So, is our new maid and our sister having an affair? Leave the poems alone for now. Okay. What's over here? There's nothing on this old lectern. What's here? An assortment of family records and the heirlooms are contained within this ornated glass cabinet. Okay. But we can't... I don't know. Of course you do. Use that head for once, boy. Great Uncle Thomas? Seth. What initials do you see on your silverware? CB. And what kind of a half-wit spells Thomas with a C? I don't know. Well, I do. It's the kind of a half-wit, but standing next to me. No? Which of your ancestors owned the silver chalice? Well, if you get this one wrong, there will be serious consequences, boy. Are we having like a dream? I'll say one thing for my father. His style of parenting has always been consistent. Oh, that was us. That was a flashback. Our father and us. Okay. So I'm trying to find the kitchen. So is this the kitchen? Walking into the pantry, you begin to salivate at the promising scent of roast beef coming from the kitchen beyond. You find nothing interesting in the drawers. On top of the cabinet, however, you see a blue box marked rat poison. Okay, we got another murder weapon here. Leave the rat poison where it is for now. You find nothing interesting. Okay, that's the rat poison. What's over here? There is nothing notable about this barrel. So we have rat poison here as well. And this has to be Sophia, right? Let's look at the dishes. You have no reason to interfere with the saucepans and cookery. There is a knife here. It seems like the maid has left a sharp kitchen knife unattended. How foolish of her. We can leave it here now. And there is a piece of bread. Okay, I don't think I'd be needing any bread. We have an empty fireplace here. There is nothing especially notable about this fireplace. Some barrels. Okay, so I think we need to talk with her and try to get her out of this room. Oh, hello, Mr. Arran. Is there something I can do for you? Okay, let's go through this here now. What time will dinner be ready? I want to ask something about your time here. I'm sure you can do lots of things for me, lovely. I want to ask you something about your time. Which of these will actually get her out of the kitchen? I don't know. Let's take the middle one here. Actually, I wanted to ask you something about working for my family. Oh? How do you deal with my father's temper? what it's like working for my insane sister. Does my mother treat you well? Has George been bothering you? Ah. No, wait. George mentioned our mother, right? I feel like we only have one chance to get this right here. Does my mother treat you well? Has George been bothering you? So which of these will actually get her out of the kitchen? This is the fourth option here as well. Let's go with this one. I hope the old man George has made you too uncomfortable. He has something of a reputation with the ladies. He has been an absolute gentleman. Very charming indeed. Oh, okay. I'm sure all the girls must have loved him back in his days. Oh, wow. Back in his days, okay. Not now. I'm sorry. I must be getting back to work. I will ring the bell when dinner is ready. The maid gives you an exasperated glance as she moves some pots and pans around. She's obviously too busy for you to any more idle chatter. Did we just mess this up here? Because we can't... Oh my god. Oh my god. So we can't actually talk with her anymore, right? Okay, let's... I want to go down back to George just to see what happens. The food poison here, or rat poison, that's good as well. So my question here is that does the murder weapon need to be related to the evidence item? Because if there will be like a police investigation, it feels like they should be coherent, right? What's the way? It's down here in the basement. Okay. Let's see. I'm still thinking about that billiard cue. And wait, it's down here. George! Okay. We can't do anything here. I wonder if we messed it up. I don't like that. Okay. Let's talk with our sister then. I think that's the... Wait, we haven't been upstairs, so there might be actually a lot of things to do up here. Oh, we have 3 rooms, okay. What is this statue here? This ornate lamp is of no use to you, okay. So this is your parents' bedroom. Has not changed in years. It remains a frozen time capsule of childhood you would soon forget. So this is the bed. You get down on all fours and peek underneath your parents' bed, but you can't find anything there. And this chair here. Just an old chair. And what is this? Oh, we're having a flashback with our mother, right? George said you wanted to see me, mother. Yes. Your sister will be returning to St. Mary this year, Arran. Her condition has become too serious. I see. Have you nothing to say besides that, Arran? No, nothing. This is precisely what I've wanted to talk to you about. This silly feud with your sister must stop. Why do you think her condition keeps getting worse? Perhaps it's because you refuse to even acknowledge her. She killed Henry. Who is Henry? For heaven's sake, Arran. It was only a rat. Okay. He was my friend. I should never have allowed you to keep it in this place in the first place. If you must blame someone, blame me. Will you forgive your sister? Absolutely never. Very well, Arran. You leave me no choice. So she is still looking into the wall here. I'll have to, oh my god. I will have to speak to your father about this. This house always brings back far too many memories. It is only once you slide the top drawer open that you remember this is where your father keeps the shotgun. Okay. The shiny barrel almost seems to call out to you. Guns are certainly noisy, but efficient weapons. They are. We're going to leave the shotgun here now. Let's continue. There's a plant here. Another of my parents' plants here. Okay, and wait, there's a picture here. This is my father. A familiar portrait of your great uncle Arran Bruce. He was a highly respected author. You enter the surreal atmosphere of your sister's room. Mirrors of various sizes cover walls, creating the eerie illusion of a crowded space. So this is our sister. We're going to immediately leave here, because I want to look at the other room first. This has to be our room, right? You step inside your former bedroom, now a simple guest room. Most of your old furniture has vanished, probably thrown on a bonfire. It's just a saber. There is at least one item of yours remaining in your former room, your old fencing sword. At least this is a weapon with which you are very well practiced. Why should we take a weapon that we own as a murder weapon? We're going to leave it here. You don't have time to sit around? Okay. And this is the bed. Ah, the old bed. So many memories of long sleepless nights spent wishing that your entire family would disappear. Your bedside table has been emptied of whatever items you had left behind. What is this weird clock? The clock is ticking. This wardrobe is vacant and barren. Okay. I guess let's talk with our sister then. Well, 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 sister. So many mirrors you have on your wall. So many mirrors. And what's over here? The ornate clocks are your sister's third love, right behind mirrors and cruelty. Wow. Bedroom over bed. There is nothing of interest around your sister's bed. You don't want to sit around in this deranged place, right? And let's go and look at the wardrobe here. Your sister is too busy staring at herself in the mirror to notice you riffling through her wardrobe. You find a pair of silky undergarments with her initials embroidered on the inside, planted in the right place. These might weave a tale of her own. Actually, this makes more sense, because we actually found like the love letters, right, in the maid's drawer. So I think maybe this is the right solution to do. So I think we should take these, but we're not going to take it right now, because I want to speak with our sister here first. So we're going to leave it here. Sister. Aha! I thought I smelled a rat. Have you come to see me, little rat? We need to be as polite as possible, right? Because we are going to kill her let's not make any like sudden, let's not be suspicious at all. How are you feeling? I'm not a rat, I'm your brother. Takes a rat to smell a rat. How are you feeling, dear sister? Hello, Jennifer. How have you been? How I've been? What an odd thing for a little rat to ask. Normally they say, squeak, squeak. Wow. Okay. Foxes also do squeak, squeak sounds. You used to have a pet, right? Didn't you? Remember what I did to him? Oh my god. Was that Henry? How he squeaked. Such great pain for such a little creature. Oh my god, you actually tortured the rat. What did you think? What did you want to talk to me about, little rat? I see you're collecting mirrors. Mother seems to worry about you. I'm going to make you pay. We're not going to take this one. Our dear mother is very worried about you. Mother says your condition has been getting worse. Are you okay, Jennifer? My condition? What condition? I don't have a condition. You want to have me sent away, don't you? Well, it won't work. It won't work, I tell you. Go away. I don't want to speak to you anymore. Your sister has gone back to studying her own reflection in the mirror, completely oblivious to anything else in the world. Okay, so I think we have gone through everything in the game here now. We've found all the objects, all the murder weapons, and all the evidence. So I think we are going to go with the sister or the love affair plot. So I think we're going to pick up the evidence of... wait a minute. Is this a murder weapon? No, it isn't, right? You find a pair of silky underwear. Planted in the right place, this might... So we need to plant things where they are. Okay, so let's leave this here then. So, okay, the underwear is evidence. There's a lot of mirrors here. So, what about the love letters and the knife? So let's go down here again. Let's see if I remember where the letters were. Okay, let's go into this room down here. And was it down here the letters were? You managed to force open the locked drawer of your writing desk. Inside you find pages of poetry penned in your sister's handwriting. So these are the love letters. They seem to be love letters penned to an unidentified female. From the description... Okay, so I don't know... So I don't know what we... Okay, so this looks like it is the evidence, right? So we have to try something. So I'm going to take these poems here now and see what happens. Are you sure you want to take the poem? Remember, you can only pick up 2 objects. Yes, I'm sure. You take the most intimate and lovelorn poem you can find and hide it on your person. If planted in the right location, this could raise interesting questions about the maid's relationship with your sister. Okay, so I just need to think through this, if this was a really good idea, what we just did here. So we took the love letters from the sister to the maid. Okay, so what motive does that give? Someone killing. I think this was wrong. This doesn't make any sense, to be honest. If planted in the right location, this could raise an interesting questions about your maid's relationship with your sister. I mean, the only other place I can think of where it would be really suspicious is where the underwear is, right? So if we head up to the room here again, and if we go to our sister's room, so can we just plant the love letters here? So I can take the underwear here, right? Okay, I'm taking the underwear here instead. We take the underwear and close the cupboard. Perhaps the plan is already beginning to form in your mind. Again, a bell invites me. This time to dinner, it seems. Oh my god, we didn't actually pick up a murder weapon, right? We only picked up 2 evidence items. Oh my god, it's going to be a terrible dinner. I think we failed this one. Okay. Let's see what happens. Dinner is served. Sophia, could you come here for a moment? Yes, ma'am. Pour me some more wine. Yes, ma'am. But, madam. What is it, George? I am the one who serves the wine. I must protest. It has always... Oh! It has always been my duty to pour the wine at dinner. Oh, well. I don't want to cause any trouble. Same procedure as last year. Nonsense. What does it matter, George? Stop being over pedantic. But... Okay, so this is an answer that George will give to the rest of the group. No, this doesn't make sense. He just wants to look down and dress. That doesn't make sense here. Come on, let George pour the wine. Okay, let's cause as much drama as possible. Do you let the staff speak to you like that? Are you going to let George get away with this disobedience, Mother? Of course not. You and I will have words after dinner, George. Yes, madam. Let your mother deal with it, would you? We don't need your interference. An interfering little rat, isn't he, Daddy? I'm really awful with actually using different voices to different characters because I keep forgetting what voice I did for what, and I don't think I actually have different voices, to be honest. Yes, he is. Why can't you ever keep your mouth shut, boy? Perhaps I did speak out of turn. Apologize. Now, don't lose your temper, father. This is probably the most diplomatic one. Perhaps I did speak out of turn. You're right. So we want to be as innocent as possible. You're right, I'm sorry. I must have had too much wine myself. I apologize. You'd better not let it happen again. I'm terribly sorry. Sophia, could you come here, please? Yes, Miss Jennifer. I just wanted to say that was the loveliest meal I've ever tasted. I don't know how you could do it, you cunning pixie. You're too kind, miss. Of course, I will have tea and cakes for you in the drawing room as usual after dinner. Nice. Oh, you're so good to me, you sweet thing. So very, very good to me. Oh. I wouldn't mind some of your hotcakes. Would you two stop flirting with each other? Sophia isn't interested in your advances, sister. I think this is a really good one because it actually opens up the jar of a Pandora's box about these two having some kind of flirt. Really, you two? You don't need to broadcast your affections so obviously in public. I'm sorry, Mr. Arran. I never... Shush, rat. Go crawl into your hole somewhere. That's quite enough of your silly jokes, Arran. Anyway, let's not forget why we are here today. To celebrate your father's birthday. Such a very important occasion for us all. You are so dear for us, Malcolm. Happy birthday, Daddy! Indeed, happy birthday, Father. Let's hope it will be one to remember. Doing the deed. Now is the time to quickly plant any items of evidence you have. To do so, simply enter the desired room and select the item in your inventory. Okay. I feel already pressured here. It's very stressful. When you're ready, enter the drawing room to do the deed. Okay. So I think it was escape, right? Items. So we have the underwear. We have no weapons. Awesome. Items. We have the underwear and we have the poems. So the poems should go into the sister's room and the underwear should go into our maid's room, right? I have no idea if that's a good idea. Okay, let's plant the love letters here first. Okay, should I press escape here now and then plant the poem? Come hither, thou sweet and flame-haired maiden. Let us play in the games which you have been forbidden. In dusty old rooms of his home, in which I live in, come hither to me, and I do my sweet bidding. You find yourself unable to continue reading this poem. You're pretty sure that forbidden isn't a word, and that the rest doesn't really rhyme. Do you want to plant this item of evidence in this room? Yes. I don't know if it makes sense. I have no idea if this makes sense. You decide to place the item in the wardrobe. That should be easy enough for the police to find. Okay. So we should have one more item here, right? The underwear. And let's plant this in. Hello, George. Oh, so they are actually moving around in the murder place here. Okay. Anyway, we're going back to the maiden's room. And I think it was this one, right? Could we actually take this mirror? Okay. I would actually take this murder weapon if I could. You've already planted your evidence. So I can't do anything in this room, right? Well, I guess we're going to kill our sister with using her own underwear. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what we're going to try to do, because I think I messed this up here. Where's the drawing room, by the way? Oh, this has to be the drawing room. Well, 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 sister. Yes. You see Jennifer staring out of the window ahead of you, lost in one of her strange moods. She hasn't noticed you enter the drawing room. No, it is the time. So I need to kill her. So we need to kill her, sorry. We need to kill her with our bare hands. Who needs weapons anyway? You can best her with your own hands alone. We creep up behind her and suddenly lunge forward, putting your gloved hands firmly around her throat. She gulps and struggles, smashing into the chair and then the desk. Finally, you manage to find a good grip, and you continue to choke her from behind until finally she goes limp in your arms. You let her drop to the ground. That was a noisy struggle. You won't have much time to get out of this room before someone investigates. Damn it! The maid's coming. Oh my god! Oh my god. La 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 la. Oh my god, here's that, the police. Good evening, everyone. I am Chief Inspector Winston Lewis. I understand that this is a very difficult time for your family. You're damn right it is. I want to know what you're doing, wasting time in here while my daughter's kill is out there. Well, Mr. Bruce, we have found no evidence of forced entry, and nobody has ever seen entering or leaving the house. It would seem entirely possible, then, that the killer is in this room. What? No! What seems highly unlikely, Inspector. Perhaps it is. However, in order to follow protocol, I will have to interview each of you in turn. Mrs. Bruce, would you like to meet me in the library first? I suppose. The interview. Oh, this is interesting. Thank you for joining me in here, Mr. Bruce. I'm sure this won't take long. Before we begin, I will need to search your person. Oh my god! We have our sister's underwear on us. Oh god, this is so bad. I don't even want to continue playing this game. Best to get these formalities out of the way. Is this really necessary? I'm afraid so. Turn around, please. Mr. Bruce, may I ask why you're carrying around a pair of ladies' undergarments around with you? Actually, it wasn't mine. I stole them from my sister in act of revenge. I don't know how I got them. We are so screwed. We are so screwed right now. Okay. I don't know. Should we like... I don't know what this actually means. I stole them from my sister in act of revenge. I have no idea how... I just don't know. I don't know. What on earth? How did I get those? There. What? Why do you think someone would slip a pair of undergarments into your pocket, Mr. Bruce? I have no idea. I have no idea. I see. No, that's out of the way. Let's move on to the interview. As you know, I've already spoken to everyone else who was present in the house at the time of your sister's death. We have also now completed our initial research of the house, but we'll get to that later. We have also now completed our initial search of the house, but we'll get to that later. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? First of all, we will run through all of your activities since your arrival. The maid says that you and the butler arrived shortly after 7 o'clock and she greeted you at the door. She told me that you refused to give her your coat, and she found that quite peculiar. I didn't want to get cold. I preferred to keep my possessions with me. I wasn't sure how long I would be staying. I fail to see how this is relevant. I prefer to keep my possessions with me. I had a few things in my coat that I wanted to keep close at hand. My wallet, my keys, and things like that. I suppose that is reasonable. Let's move on. The maid says that you made a rather inappropriate remark of a sexual nature towards her. This leads me to question your character, I'm afraid. It was only intended as a harmless joke. It was only intended purely as a light-headed joke. In retrospect, it may have been inappropriate. My bad. Yes, it is entirely possible to misjudge these situations, isn't it? Later, you went to speak to the maid again, which is curious. Why did you decide to visit the kitchen? Well, we wanted to explore all rooms. To see when the dinner was ready. I was hungry and wanted to know when a dinner would be served. That makes sense. Apparently, you had some concerns regarding the butler. Yes, but it turned out I was totally wrong. So I'm trying to shift everything to their fare. I did have some concerns, but they were incorrect, as it turns out. Alright then. Later on, you had a conversation with your mother, Gloria, in the parlor. At that time, your mother brought up the subject of your sister's health, and you seemed quite unconcerned about it. Really, I think we were super polite with everything, right? Actually, it was my mother who was unconcerned. No, that doesn't make sense. It's not in my nature to show my concern. I was concerned, I just tend to be quite reserved in how I express it. Yes, you do seem like quite a reserved person. Fair enough. You went to see your father in the library, I understand. Your conversation became quite heated. Actually, I thought the conversation was civil. I didn't think it was that heated, relatively speaking. Really? Apparently even your mother could hear raised voices from the parlor. You discussed the prospect of your moving back to Dunshiel. You said you... Oh my god, everything is coming up here again. You said you... You said you would only move back if your sister was placed in a psychiatric care. Well, for your... for her own well-being, of course. I had her own best interest at heart. She belonged in care. You might be right, Mr. Bruce. However, you seem to be the only one who felt that way. Let's discuss your conversation with the butler. You spoke about your mother's recent moods, yes? He seemed very worried about her. Yes, my mother was having a very hard time dealing with my sister's condition, apparently. It sounded like she had been pushed to a breaking point. Interesting. Did you speak to your sister before dinner? Yes, I did. Yes, I went to her room to see her. I see. And what did you discuss with her? This is actually true. Nothing at all. She insulted me and then left. It was as brief as most conversations I've had with my sister. She called me a rat and, not wanting to be insulted further, I soon left the room. Did that make you angry? To be honest, I was used to it from her. Let's move on to events that took place during dinner. There was some trouble involving the butler, I gather. Apparently you were offended by his behavior. That's true. We actually said this during dinner, but we might have had a little bit too much wine during dinner. I just had a little too much to drink. I wish I hadn't said anything, actually. I'd just been enjoying the wine a little bit too much, perhaps. I see, that's understandable. At one point, you made the accusation that the maid and your sister were in some kind of inappropriate relationship. Boom, okay. I am almost certain they are. It seemed obvious enough to me, the way those two were carrying on. The parents were just oblivious to it. You believe your sister was in a lesbian relationship with the maid? Almost certainly. Interesting. No, I need to ascertain your location at the time of your sister's death. Where were you when you heard the maid's scream? I was on ground floor. I was in the dining room, actually. I was actually in the dining room. I was in the dining room. Yes, the maids mentioned seeing you there. That does put you quite close to the scene of the murder, I'm afraid. As I said earlier, we have completed our initial search of the property. We found a poem written by your sister, which appears to clearly express romantic feelings towards the maid. Strangely enough, we found it in your parents' bedroom. What? Did we go into the wrong room and planted the poems in the wrong room? I wonder if your father discovered a poem. I doubt he would be pleased about her infatuation with the maid. It's entirely possible. I don't know. I mean, sure. I'm curious about the murder weapon. From your sister's injuries, we can guess that she was almost likely strangled by a pair of strong masculine hands. I mean, our father does have really strong masculine hands, right? What makes sense, your father, and the butler more likely suspects, without completely ruling out the others? It is all very interesting. I will be completely honest with you now, Mr. Bruce. Frankly, your behavior leading up to your sister's death concerns me a great deal. Also, I must regard your father as a suspect even though the evidence is far from conclusive. There is a question or two regarding the butler, but personally, I don't buy it. Too cliché. I'm slightly curious about the maid, but I doubt she was involved in this. Despite any question remarks about your mother, I don't think for a moment she did this. Given the weapon that was used, obviously suicide is not a realistic possibility. Now, as for what happens next, I'm placing you under arrest on suspicion of the murder of your sister. Although I think I will have some more further questions for your father later. As the only person to be arrested, you remain the prime suspect in the case. The evidence against you was overwhelming. At the trial, it did not take very long for the jury to return a guilty verdict. You were given a life sentence for the murder of your sister and would be spending the rest of your life sleeping behind bars. In your dank little cell, there was nowhere to hide or to escape from the nightmares when they came. The deed itself had taken possession of your soul, and perhaps this was her final revenge. So as you can see, our plan to do the deed and kill our sister didn't actually turn out so great, especially when I picked up the sister's underwear and I had it on me when I got interrogated by the police. But I think it's a really interesting game, and it's really cool that there are so many possibilities on the outcome. So thank you for being here with me playing this game here, and I wish you a continued great day, and I'll see you in the next video.
Find it so hard to breathe, 'cause when you get too close I lose my way and I freeze. I wish you knew